Tara's Fabulous Food Feature.
What could be the best or the most horrifying meal of the year? Christmas dinner, and Angie Quaale is here to help us through. Hi, Angie.
Morning.
Welcome back.
Thanks. It's good to be back.
So with you, I know you always try and make things simple. This is a formal meal with a lot of different dishes. How can we simplify?
Well, for me, the number one component to making Christmas dinner simple is to plan. You know, plan, do as much in advance as you can so you're not killing yourself a few hours before you're trying to sit down to dinner. Have all your veggies chopped, your potatoes peeled. Have all of that done and ready to go.
There's nothing worse than if everybody's trying to get together and then you're stressed and you're sidetracked and you can't really be a part of it too, right? If you haven't planned it.
Because you have to go stand in the kitchen for 45 minutes and peel your carrots.
How can we jazz up some of these traditional dishes? You know, like you've got your Brussels sprouts and your whatever. What are some tips?
Well, I mean, I love Brussels sprouts, but I respect the fact that not everybody does.
When I think Christmas, I don't think Brussels sprouts.
It's a divisive point. It is.
You might as well serve coal.
Yeah, Brussels sprouts are like the cilantro of Christmas dinner. You either love them or you hate them.
My brother used to call them squirrels, and I think that's what turned me off.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah.
But you can do, if you decide you wanted to do Brussels sprouts and not everybody in the family is a fan, try a different preparation. I read a really great recipe the other day for a Brussels sprout slaw where you just cook the Brussels sprouts so they're still a little bit crispy, slice them up really thinly and toss them with a vinaigrette. I mean, it would be more like a sautéed cabbage kind of dish at that point, which is a little less intimidating than a bowl of squirrel brains, I think.
But you would say less is more, though. Instead of, would you say to overdo or can you overdo a Christmas dinner?
Yeah, you can totally overdo a Christmas dinner. I mean, depends how many people you're having. And if you're having a crowd, hey, ask somebody to bring some stuff along. Ask your sister-in-law to bring the salad. Ask your nieces and nephews to contribute something to the table. It's more, for me, about spending time with the people that you want to be with than actually sweating, peeling carrots at the last minute.
And the other thing I'd like some tips for is how to make the stuffing a little more interesting.
Are you stuffing in the bird or on the side?
In the bird.
In the bird. It comes down for me to a texture thing with stuffing. Sometimes in the bird I find it gets a little bit too mushy.
So that's why I don't like it in the bird.
Yeah,
so you'd recommend cooking it outside the bird?
Some people like that texture. So at my house, I don't like it like that. So I cook one on the side and one in the bird.
Okay.
So I have two options at my house.
I was thinking more of ingredients, though, just things to add that are maybe not so typical. Like I've heard of walnuts and different things in the stuffing.
Some of the dried fruit, some dried cherries, some dried cranberries, some nuts would be really nice. And then play with some of the spices. I mean, I think most people, maybe not most people, but a lot of people have spices in their cupboard that they've been using every Christmas since 1981.
Yeah.
And those have
I've
to
had
go.
this sage since the Nixon administration.
It has to go. It tastes like cardboard.
Yeah.
So get rid of that. And replacing some of your spices isn't an expensive way to do it, but it'll totally change the way your stuffing tastes.
That's where the bulk section is good because you can get such a tiny amount.
You can, but I find sometimes at the bulk section, the spices get cross-contaminated because people are double dipping and stuff.
Oh.
So I would just go to a store that sells a good amount of spice and buy them in small quantities. And really, it's not a massive investment. That'll change the everything you cook when you're using fresh spices. And try some fresh herbs in your stuffing too. Some fresh oregano or some fresh, lots of fresh parsley. All those kinds of things will change your stuffing.
As always, phenomenal tips from Angie Quaale, opening up our mind to the creative possibilities that will be
Christmas.
Food. Yes, absolutely.
Mike and Tara in the morning on Vancouver's Christmas music station, 103.5 QMFM.